are back, everybody. Welcome to Brown Sugar Confessions. Thanks for joining us tonight. We are back. It's going to be amazing. And in case you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, she's back, our great fearless leader, Doc Val.
Hey y'all, hey! I've missed you guys so much. Oh my god, I really forgot how to operate my camera, my sound. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here.
You're
Y'all,
here and welcome back. We have missed you. The
uh,
fans have missed you.
I have missed y'all more. I can't even begin to tell y'all the last 3 months, but I'm here, and we'll do catch up at another time. I think, I guess.
Yes, yes, we're going to have a whole segment of catching up with you because we know you've been on some adventures, you've been out teaching around the world, and I know you got some stories for us. But before we get into that, because that is on the back burner for now, we're going to catch up with our lovely ladies here. KD, what is going on?
Hello. So we've had the big thaw out, and you know, the one thing we've missed with not having Dr. Val here is her kind of getting mad at us for doing the weather. So I'm going to especially make sure that I do the weather very well today. So it
Darn
is warm outside. We have like a whopping 50 degrees here in January, February time period. And it was 70 degrees like one day last
Mm-hmm.
week. 70 degrees. That was crazy, especially after we had like 16 feet of snow. So all of that snow just decided to melt in like 2 days. We had like fog. It felt like we were in some sort of mystical, magical land because like fog was quite literally rolling past my house. I think it
Mm-hmm.
smacked me in the face one time. So it's just been pretty outrageous, this weather lately. However, outside of weather, everything
it.
else has been pretty boring and bland. So that's about it for me.
Hey, boring is better than bad. How about you, Tracy? What's going on?
Bananas.
Bananas. What happened? What kind of bananas?
So, like Katie said, that we had the big thaw. We had 63-degree weather up here.
Oh,
63.
There?
my,
In the frozen tundra?
my.
Yeah. And I got scared because it thawed and I had to go to my braiding appointment, get my hair braided, get my hair did. I'm driving through the woods and I was like, please don't let me time jump into another era as I'm going through the fog. Like, that's my fear. That's my twilight fear. Um, but other than that, I am getting ready to go back to school. I got one more
Again?
week before I head back into
I was
class.
about to say, what we going to
Yeah.
school for now?
Don't you already have
Uh,
16 master's degrees and like two
Right.
doctorates or something? Like,
only two, only two. This I'm learning how to this is basically how to speak and write. So I want to write a book, but I cuss too much.
We finally
So
getting that memoir?
That's going to be a series of books.
Yes.
so I have to like learn new words instead of saying the words I want to say. I have to, tone it up or down. And it's learning how to connect with people, which is kind of hard because I'm like, why do I want to connect with people? This is my words. But my professor is like, quit being a smart and do the work. So I'm doing the work. But
I
other than that, I'm getting ready for going to physical therapy and I'm getting ready for Tommy King down in Philly.
can't wait to see you.
Oh.
Yay.
I love how when you guys are like it was foggy and I was going to time leap or I was thinking I was going through a mystical forest. We got a Stephen King movie down here. Y'all remember that movie The Fog from Stephen
Yeah,
King? That was
Uh-huh.
yeah.
That was Wednesday night, Thursday and Friday. That was my
Really?
life.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, no, same here. Same here. That's crazy.
So today has been the clearest it's been in a couple several days. So once we get outside, I'm gonna actually stand outside on my porch and actually enjoy the clearness, the stars, and actually see what's out. But before we get into any more of the weather report, I do have a question for you guys. Remember when we talked about polyamory way back in the day, non-ethical, was it non-monogamous?
Non-ethical monogamy?
Non-ethical monogamy. Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Non-ethical monogamy. So, because you know me, I am a star child. I love learning about astrology and whatnot. What signs do you think are best for ethical non monogamers? Is that even a word, monogamers? What sign is the best for polyamory? Let's say it like that.
I got no idea.
Geminis.
Okay,
I was gonna say
Capricorn.
Gemini because twins too.
Uh huh. Any other ones?
Definitely not
Nah,
Oh.
I say no to Capricorn. Capricorns are very stingy.
Or Pisces.
Oh.
I believe it on
Oh.
Pisces. I will take Pisces, Aquarius, and Geminis.
You want to know what? So there was a survey that was done, and you guys are 2 out of 3. So Gemini was one of the
Mm.
signs they said was best. So essentially, it's because that Geminis get easily bored, and they like to share. So that kind of fortifies them for being polyamorous. The
okay.
second sign was Sagittarius.
No, I'm definitely not. I
Hmm.
don't share well at all.
But here's the thing with Sagittarius. Sagittarius, they like boundary pushing, they like to broaden their options, and they're always in a state of exploration. And they also
Uh,
like to party.
yeah, that's me. Darn, is that really
Uh-huh.
Sagittarius?
I mean,
That
I
is
mean,
really that
Doc
is
Val,
so.
didn't you say something about being pansexual?
I did. I did.
So
I
basically,
mean,
what it boils down to is that your sign probably wants to have all the things, even if you're not sharing all of your things.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
the third one was Aquarius.
Hmm.
Aquarius being revolutionary in terms of how they think and how they feel, and they tend to broaden the definition of what sex works for them, and they're also very respectful of boundaries. So long as you communicate clearly to what you do and don't want from Aquarius, they can more likely fit themselves in. And I thought
Oh,
that
Interesting.
was actually pretty interesting considering I'm an Aquarius moon, and I was like, dang, I actually can see that. But I did not see Gemini coming. So you guys got it for me. So I thought that
Number
was
one.
really interesting.
That's literally number one for me. Like especially
that's
the
what we thought.
guys. Yeah, that's an easy one. Aquarius is
I
number two.
I did not think Sagittarius at all. That's
I'm
interesting.
surprised about that one. I would have never thrown Sagittarius on that list at all.
Mhm.
Right. And I
Right.
was just like, wow, okay. But then when I thought about it, I was like, I can see that. They're party goers, and like the unofficial joke is that Sagittarius, aka Sagittarius, are like when they are in party mode, they can also be the garden tool of the group.
Oh, that's me again. The garden tool? Wait a minute. What is that? Wait a minute before I say yes to that. What's the garden
Take some
garden
time to think
tool?
about it, Doc Val. Take some time to think about it.
Think
What
about it
garden
and just
tool do you have?
realize certain things you can't say on the radio. So
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think
Oh,
you would
y'all can
consider yourself
tell.
a garden tool, Dr. Val.
Okay, all right, got it. I got it. Okay, it took me a minute. I've been out of the flow for a minute, y'all. Okay, I'm back in. All right.
I'm not saying that is you, Doc Val. I am saying that is some of the people that just happen to share the same age of birth range of you.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay,
That's
I'm leaving
literally
it
the
at that.
opposite of Dr. Val.
Literally the
Dr.
Right.
opposite.
Val is actually, for those who don't know, she's actually the prude of the group. I'm going to be very honest.
I am the virgin of the group. Miss T is the baby, but I really am the virgin.
Don't let her fool you.
Oh, but it's one of those things where it's like if you once you meet Doc Val, yes, Doc Val may not have I don't want to say the experience, but you got the knowledge, especially when it comes to the things that you're into. And then it's like, I
Yeah,
salute you,
sure.
ma'am. You did
Yeah.
what to who? And they responded
Ooh,
like that?
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay,
The
okay.
literal
Yeah.
definition of look but don't touch.
That.
Oh, totally. I'm totally
That.
that. There's
Oh,
a rumor on the ship that I'm on there. They have and I didn't know they had a rumor about me. I was so offended, but then I
a
was like,
rumor?
it's kind of
What was
yes.
what was the
So
rumor?
this guy was liking me on the ship, and he was young, like maybe 23, and I'm not 23, but and he was fine. But anyway, they were like, "Who do you like?" And he was describing me, and apparently they said, "Oh, the untouchable." Doc Val? And I'm like, that's the rumor. They're like, yeah, everyone knows they can look, but you are untouchable. We can all look at you, but no one can touch you. So yeah, that's my new hashtag, the untouchable Doc Val.
Can you please update your TikTok to
I
that
will.
the untouchable Doc Val?
I was like, but I want somebody to touch me. They're like, nope,
No.
nope.
They know better.
They know better. The untouchable. Yes, that is my name when I'm out in the world doing my thing. Yeah, I'm like, well, that explains why I don't get any action. I got this hashtag. I'm the untouchable.
I need you to have that on a shirt, Doc Val. The
I,
untouchable Doc Val.
I'm actually going to put that on it for the next cruise. I'm going to put the untouchable Doc Val. They're going to be like, the untouchable.
Cause you know that
Yeah.
now that you know, everybody's gonna want to try to touch you.
Ooh.
Everybody's gonna want to, and they're now everybody's gonna try to have to figure out how to.
Ooh. Miss T, you are using me horribly right now. Thank you. Oh,
Modern
okay.
problems require modern solutions.
I like that.
That part.
Yes, the untouchable. Okay, new shirt. Let's keep it rolling.
All right, let's get into it. Have you guys heard of the term hard wig, soft life?
Yes.
Somebody explain
No.
it to me, please. No? Somebody
I'm
explain it
joking.
to
Of
me,
course I
please.
have.
Somebody explain it to me, please, because I haven't worn a wig since I was in high school, so I don't know what's up.
There's a lot. Okay, so there's a lot of discourse going around right now. Well, yeah, right now, surrounding a couple of TikToks, but it happens to happen to be about an interview. And there is this super uber wealthy gas billionaire guy in England, and his wife is black.
Hmm.
And when you see her wig, it is hard and it's crunchy in the the sides, it's not, you don't have no baby hairs, there's no swoops, it's no gel, it's none of that. Um, People are talking about how it always seems to be a woman, and not just a black woman, with a crunchier, not taken care of hair, wig, that is living like a dream life, like in luxury. And in this interview, and I'll have to link it on our Brown Sugar Confessions page. um he's a he's a billionaire, and he talks about how they wake up and get in their Rolls Royce and leave their castle and all of these magnificent things. And this is not to take away from the woman is absolutely beautiful. um, but there was this trend going around on TikTok where people are just like, why is it always the women with the crunchy hair with the dudes with all the money? Like, how do we get a part of that life? And then somebody was like, I found a crunchy wig. I'm off to play golf. That's how
Dang.
that's where this whole crunchy hair, soft life kind of thing goes. But personally, I think it's a little more than that. But what do you guys think?
I saw that clip on TikTok, Teresa, and I will tell you, and that wig was crunchy. I actually met on the last cruise, and I was with my assistant, and we were in the executive lounge, and this white guy asked us for dinner, and we were like, okay, sure, and he had the look, right? Some white guys just have that look like they're into women of color, and you could tell this white guy definitely he had a little flavor to him. He just had that little bit of like there's a little bit of spice in this white
A
boy.
little bit of seasoned salt
So,
is what you're saying.
he definitely has some seasoned salt in there. So he comes in and like it was a party of 10, and it was he paid for dinner. He paid for me and my assistant's dinner. It was just on the cuff, right? So I met these three black ladies, beautiful black women, and I went to hug one of them, and I swear I got a splinter from her wig. It was so
First of all, ma'am.
I can't with you.
her wig.
So it was
I
Kangalong and not Hawaiian Silky number 5 is what you're saying.
know that it was the hardest. crunchy wig. I was like, oh, I kind of like was taken back. And she was like, her ring was like the size of my eyeballs. I have big eyes. Like the diamond was like this big. I mean, uber wealthy, right? And they had been married for like 30 years. And then the other black girl that was sitting next to her, we went to hug at the end of the dinner, and I'll be daggone if her wig wasn't all crunchy. I was like, it is a trend. And they were living very soft lives, running around. Like for their birthday, he had rented this like customized party van that went all over Vegas, and all the ladies were in there. They brought in strippers. Then they flew somewhere in his plane. I mean, they live an abundant life. And
Ooh.
two of the three had some very, very crunchy wigs. And that one, I swear to God, I still have the splinter, but that's another story. But yeah, so I met one. And they were just so lovely. And the guys, these men were just so proud. And it was like five white guys, and it was four women of color plus my assistant who's not a woman of color. And these white men were just loving. I mean, they were loving these brown women of color. They just loved us like immensely. Could not stop complimenting our hair, could not our skin. They just loved it. So there is something to this crunchy, messed up hair. I need to crunch mine up a little bit. Mine is too soft, I think. I need to crunch it
So
up
what
more.
I'm
No, you
hearing is
already have a billionaire. You can't have another one. You
right.
gotta say something first. Let me crunch this up.
Let me crunch it up. I need some Aquanet
I'm
hairspray
about
to
to say,
crunch.
so we're bringing Aquanet back, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Aquanet back. It's gonna be hard hair, soft life.
All right, so let's analyze this a little bit because now I'm intrigued. So, all right, so we know that when it comes to the upper echelon, that hair isn't the big thing, or at least how it fits on your head. Let's just say it like that. So, what do
Right.
you think it would be? Is it personality? Is it the go-getterness, the ambition? Like, what is it that uh keeps guys like this wanting women like this?
It's. I would say it's definitely not the hair. It, and I'm going to speak from a personal experience. I really think it's that they know that they can count on you and that you are a ride or die. I think that is what it is with some of these white men. That you're going to stick with them, and you're strong. They really, my husband, like, it's like, I love you because you're so strong. I don't care what you look like. I know you will hold it down. And that what he said we put into effect a couple of months ago. But yeah, and all of these men were just, she's amazing. She holds it together. She's so strong. They like that side of us, that personality that they know they can depend on. If something goes awry, we're not going to fall apart. I think that's what it is. That's
So is
just
the
what I
Hmm.
hard hair a representation of, your hard personality? Like, I
could be.
I have my
Yeah,
opinion, but
maybe.
why specifically? Because obviously black women typically have a kind of this thing where we are seen as strong. So is it the stronger the hair, the stronger the personality, or is it something else?
That's a
Hmm.
good. I don't know. The stronger their hair, the stronger the personality. I really don't know. We need some white guys to come on here and answer that question.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need some of you white brown sugar lovers. We need y'all to come on the show and tell us, is it the hair? Because my husband, who's white, he likes my hair in an afro, like a big. He does like crunchy hair, like it's like kind of
Gentlemen
hard
of
and
Brown
thick.
Sugar Confessions, it is your time to confess.
It's time. We want
So,
to know.
so please don't forget that you can like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube and also email us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And guess what? Because Doc Val is back on the clock, you can actually reach out to her at Valerie@swancenter.com. That is Valerie at swan with two N's.com. Back into our conversation.
Yeah. So that's what I say.
I
It's
think it's a
Go ahead.
I think it's a combination of things, honestly. Um, I I think a lot of people put things on looks, right? But if I'm talking to my partners, right, and I ask them, do they prefer me in my 36-inch bust down, or do they like me with like my little low tension twisties in my hair, or which one do they prefer? Out overall, it's always braids, cornrows.
Yep.
Hmm.
Mm.
Texture. I think they like the texture.
So it
They
sounds like
they
we're dealing with tactile
That's
preferred
it.
individuals.
That's it. Yep. I think so. Come to think of it, Teresa, I think you're onto something. I think it is texture. Because when it's our skin color, our melanin. I think our skin is not softer, but I think he has a different texture. It feels different. He's always said that. I'm like, whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me. But he's very textile sensitive. I've noticed. My husband is, and he's just what Katrina said. He likes with my hair is like in braids, cornrows, twists. Not when it's like this. He doesn't like this style. It's too soft. There's no texture for him. So maybe it does come down to textiles and texture play. Now we're on to something.
I need a mic, like an actual mic, because this is also where I want to say diversity matters.
Absolutely.
Like we can't conform to just one style. Like you gotta like rep yourself loud and proud, whoever you are, because
Mhm.
apparently the men's they like the textiles, they
They
like the
do.
tactile feels. So if you got to do the frizz, if you got to do the aquanet, if you got to do the locks or the curls or whatever, you know, throw a wrench out there, surprise your man, figure it out what it is.
Mhm.
Valentine's Day is coming. Cuffing season is almost to a close, so do what you gotta do to get that ring.
Get that room. That's right.
I
Crunch it up.
also I also wonder this, and it would I think we spoke on it lightly. Um, it has less to do with our hair and more to do with our heart. Not that we're so hard or anything,
No.
but this is the thing I've heard time and time again. You are so caring and loving.
Oh, this is true.
And I think that it's not just like crunchy hair, like, oh, it's just the crunchy hair, and that's how you get a wealthy man. No, I don't believe that at all. I believe it is in the person's heart. You know who you're marrying, and let's be completely honest. When we're dealing with ultra rich people and they want to marry ultra rich, there is like that stuck upness, and do they really care about me, or do they care about my money? Or if stuff went to 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 the lowest of the low, are they still going to stick with me, or are they going to have my back? And I don't think that's something most of those people could say. But when you're with someone who can be real crunchy, cornrows don't matter. And appearance doesn't, and I'm not saying their appearance doesn't matter, but it's not at the forefront of who they are. That is not their heart. um they see that and they value that more. And I don't know, if I was wealthy like that, I don't think I would want somebody who was ultra wealthy. Like, what are you gonna already have it? Already have it. I want somebody that has heart and is really gonna love me for me. And if you can love me at, like, not that my twists are bad, but if you love me like this, and when I wake up in my bonnet and my little puff is like halfway like this and all the way out like this, that says something to a person. But I just thought the discourse was very interesting on, and I think somebody also said that sometimes um, women who wear the bust downs, right? The women who wear the bust downs, they're not actually in the places where these wealthy men are. I
Hmm.
don't know,
Yeah.
just something to think about.
That so
And
you mean
on that note, guys, I am sorry to announce, but it is time for our first break. So we
no?
will come back to crunchy hair, hard hair, soft life after you guys go grab some drinks, go grab some snacks, moisturize your hair, and
Drink some water.
drink some water. And we'll be back in a few moments here on Brown Sugar Confessions.
Oh my god.
And we're back on Brown Sugar Confessions. Did you guys get your snacks? Did you get your drinks? Did you moisturize your hair like I told you? Speaking of hair moisturize, before we hop back into it, first off, make sure you moisturize our channel by visiting us on YouTube.
Ooh.
Visit us on Instagram. You can go see Dr. Val, the untouchable Dr. Val on TikTok. But you're going to look for her directly because she is Dr. Val and she can tell you exactly her full handle because I don't remember off the top of my head. But most of the channels you can find us as Brown Sugar Confessions pretty much everywhere except TikTok, and we might be working on that soon.
I think we should.
I already have plans, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Additionally, if you would like to email us, you can email us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. You can email Dr. Val herself if you have any questions or if you would like to discuss anything personally with her. You can do that by emailing Valerie, that's Valerie, at Swan Center, SWANN Center.com. And with that, we will hop right back into it and talk about crunchy hair or hard hair, soft life.
I love how she says that.
I love that so much. So, listen, as someone who has most of her life had hard hair, and depending on the day, you may or may not see me with a hard hair. I have never actually formally been with someone in the Millionaire and Above Club, but I do have some insight that I believe is one that we really didn't go over yet. So
lay it on us.
One of the things I believe is that with the hard hair soft life, there's a personality thing that comes with that. So for a lot of women, Black women specifically, who typically have less than desirable looking hair, as some people like to kind of consider it, they tend to not be heavily into kind of a certain culture that's around hair amongst Black people. And I believe the reason that is because these are people who may be a little bit more on the nerdy side, people who just never was part of like the in crowd when they were growing up. And because of that, they just never quite got into hair, period. And because of that, they are not stereotypically in the places that people who are heavily into hair and heavily into fashion, heavily into looks and being in the know and nails and things like that. And with that being the case, they may be into alternative ways of entertaining themselves. Doing that, you might find yourself playing tennis, or might find yourself in a golf club, finding yourself in environments that aren't necessarily a nightclub, hip hop club, places where you may have more access to people with wealth. So I personally believe one of the reasons why you will find hard hair women dating millionaires, or let's just be very honest, dating in a much more kind of different kind of selection way is because of who they have access to in the environments they put themselves in the first place. So that's my opinion. However, we're going to move on from that, and I'm going to pass the microphone over to Tracy because I think she has some topics for us to go over.
Okay, we're going to get into it. Y'all sit and let's get into this. Disclaimer, we are talking about men judging women's bodies. Okay.
Ooh.
Trigger warning.
Here we go. I got a designer vajayjay surgery after my ex said it's the worst he had ever seen, and now intimacy is agonizing.
Oh no.
A woman's ex pressured her to get a designer vajayjay. Now she is unable to even have any kind of intimacy because it is too painful. Vanessa Vaughn of Melbourne, Australia, now 47 years old, said that when she was in her 20s, one of her exes told her that her vajayjay was the worst he had ever seen. The comments from her ex made her self-conscious, and she started comparing herself to P stars whose vajayjays were more neatly tucked. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Tucked how?
I thought I was abnormal, she lamented. I first became aware when I was around 25 or 26. I
Oh
had a
no.
boyfriend at the time who commented on my vulva. After he had mentioned um, after he'd mentioned that, I'd become self conscious. She said her ex partner's comments, combined with being cheated on by a former spouse, made her feel insecure. Because of my ex cheating on me with other people, I instantly thought back to what that boyfriend had said to me in my 20s. And that must be why all of this is happening. Him cheating made me think there must be something wrong with me, so I began researching plastic surgery. In June of 2020, Vaughn sought out a vaginal surgery called a labioplasty, which ended up costing her $3,500. She said the doctor took about an inch or more of skin than he originally said he would, leaving her in utter agony. She told him that she just wanted the skin to be trimmed, but not all gone. I could feel a lot of tugging, and I didn't know what was happening. He kept saying he was clamping my labia. He didn't let the skin fall naturally. He cut off more than he should have because he stretched it and clamped it. I specifically said I only wanted the edges taken off, nothing beyond that. When he was done lasering her, I could smell my skin burning in the room and could see the smoke. Why are you awake? The pain she felt after the surgery was debilitating, and the nightmare didn't end there. I could hardly walk. It was burning like I had never experienced. I went home. I was icing from morning until evening because it was constantly burning. I gave it about a week to recover, but I was still in a lot of pain. She said that around after 3 weeks, she noticed that there was some puffiness and swelling, and it looked like the stitches had popped. He
Mm.
had fused my labia majora. Now, if you know body parts, listen to this. He had fused her labia majora onto the entrance of her vagina.
Ooh.
Mm.
Okay?
Inner and outer lips,
She
people,
said,
think about it.
yeah, I couldn't even see my labia minora. He had removed the flesh to the bone. She realized her surgery was botched. He had not removed only removed her labia minor, but he had also removed the hood of her clitoris, leaving her extremely sensitive. I want to believe with all my heart that it wasn't botched. I was waiting for that part of my body to die. I was so scared it was going to happen. I was used to getting UTIs every second month after this because I had no barrier. She says, inserting menstrual devices is very difficult, and having intimacy is painful every time. Vaughn later sued the surgeon, got six-figure settlement, but that does not change the pain that she feels every day and the fact that she may not be able to have children. I want to have a baby one day, but the thought of pushing a child out of my vagina is daunting. I don't know if I could do it now. She says she regrets absolutely everything. And what she regrets more is putting more value in someone else's words than her own.
Wow.
Look, I don't even know what to say about that. I'm stunned.
First,
I'm disgusted.
damage
Y'all
control.
got to take this.
First off, damage control. She got $1 million off of this. She got two options: Korea or Egypt. Get that fixed. Get that fixed. Somebody out here knows how to fix that. Somebody in Korea or Egypt or what is it, Turkey, knows how to fix that, ma'am. Get that fixed. Please get that fixed.
Well, I
Second of
don't
all,
necessarily know if you can get it fixed because they cut it to the bone.
Yeah, I don't know how you can get that unless you get
it,
skin grafted from some other
plastic
place. But
surgery,
with that,
whatever, add something. It's she has some. There has to be some way to get that fixed. I,
you
I, I
know,
believe somewhere in my soul, somebody has to be able to fix that.
we talk so much about female mutilation, or when we
FGM.
talk about some countries, yeah. And I was at a conference once, and there was an interesting comparison from a cultural standpoint of female mutilation to vaginoplasty. I forget, is that the word it's called in the
Yeah.
surgery world?
Yes.
That it technically is almost the same thing. One is mostly done, it's both done for aesthetic reasons. And there's some cultures also have the, the religious notation behind it, but mostly it's for aesthetics. Think about it. Women in this country, aesthetics. People in those other countries, aesthetics. Guys, get out of our vaginas. That's it. Just get out. If you don't like the looks of them, if you don't like the squiggly lines, they come long, they come short, they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. There are some rubber dolls on the market. Get yourself one and
Or
stick it in
just
there.
get a man.
Either or. You can design your rubber doll any way you want to have her. But quit telling women that you don't like the way our vaginas look and or smell. Because trust me when I say this to you, we're not always happy with the size of your penis. But we don't ask you to go add something to it now, do we? I'm just gonna
Can
leave
you?
it there.
Can you add something to it?
No, you can't.
Oh, dang. I was like, wait a minute, can
I
you?
think they
Like,
have
how does
surgeries.
that work?
They do have surgeries for
I
that,
know
I
they have
think.
the little pump surgery
They
for it,
do, they do. But
but
most
I'm like,
that's something's not talked about, and most guys aren't going to do it. And but women aren't going to go complain about it either. I don't know a
Nope.
woman yet that says, "Oh my God," to the point of they're going to go get surgery.
No.
We just don't.
I
We
like,
deal with it.
no.
can you cut
If
around and like add like
usually
some risers in it?
Sure.
usually when someone
Like just
goes through those types of surgeries as someone who holds an eggplant, typically they are doing it because they want to get into the industry or because they just want to be a superstar amongst women or something like that. It's not usually because they were pressured by their partner to go get that type of thing done.
Absolutely. I do not find that to be something that men are seeking to do because their women or their male partner is going out saying, "Oh, it's too little. Go get it handled." Because we know, because size doesn't matter, that it really doesn't matter how big it is. Those 2 inches can hit the sweet spot into a woman. Y'all
as
know what
long
I'm
as you
talking
know what
about.
you're
That's a tip
doing.
show. Exactly.
So long
Exactly.
as you know what you're doing,
If
man.
you
So
have
guys,
empathy, that will take you so far just to be empathy and in one with your woman.
exactly. So guys, stop it. And women, you know what? We all are not cookie cutter. There was a article, not article, but it's a tabletop magazine or book actually. I forget the name of it. And this lady went around and video and took pictures of various vaginas, vulvas, and different shapes, sizes, colors, the whole spectrum to show the diversity of what they look like. Because there's not a right way. They are all perfect and they're all different. They look different. They smell. They might have different smells from one to another. And guys, that is how we are made by whomever creator you want to call him. Stop telling us that you don't like the way it looks because there's nothing worse for that getting in our heads. Because when it gets in our heads, that's not going to work for us. We're going to fake it and we're not going to like it because we're thinking
Yeah.
it's ugly. That is just who we are. So stop it. That's what I'm going to say to that poor lady. I hope she gets the help she needs. And I hope any woman that's feeling like I need to go get vaginoplasty because someone's influencing her to get it done reaches out to one of us on Brown Sugar so we can talk you out of it.
Yes.
You don't
Yeah.
need it. You don't
Yes.
need
Can
it.
I just throw something out there? Y'all just tell
Yeah.
me if this hits home or not.
Okay.
Tell me he wasn't projecting his shortcomings onto her.
Girl, probably, yeah.
I can see
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
You,
Mm-hmm.
You
you
know what
know,
I'm saying? Because
yeah,
that's the
and you
only
know
way
what?
that I could see why somebody would say something like that. It's because one, that thing had the grip and it made you weak. And you're just like, I can't deal with this. Like, I didn't last 3 minutes. I
You said they
lasted two
had the
pumps.
grip.
And this the worst I ever
This
seen in my
cha
life.
cha cha
That's the
cha
worst I ever
There's
seen in my life because I
cha
couldn't
cha cha cha
last.
cha cha.
It feels like instead of him saying that outward, he should have responded with that mirror pointed at him.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you? Why do you think you need to say that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think there's also a stigma and a misunderstanding because unfortunately a lot of eggplant holders have zero true understanding of how things work down there. But there is a stigma and misunderstanding that having a lot of lip and meat down there somehow means and equates to you have had a lot of partners. And as this person pointed out, they pretty much always had it that looked like that. And because they do all look different, some people have, a lot of petals with their flowers, with their lotus, you know what I mean? That misunderstanding then creates this thing where guys will feel as if for some reason they're inadequate because you have more flowers down there. That means you've had a lot of partners, and it's just fake. It's wrong. It has nothing to do with your look down there isn't changing based upon how many partners you have. That's false. It's something that needs to be corrected. It's something that creates a really weird obsession with how many partners you have. And we've had that discussion here on Brown Sugar Confessions before, that it's not like, oh, you've had three eggplants, so now all of a sudden there's no strength
You're
down there. That's not
loose.
true. Right, you're
You're
loose. That's not
loose.
true. And
You're a
it
garden
certainly
tool.
isn't going to impact what it looks like down there. And guys need to understand that. We need to understand that. And I think once people really have some true adult conversations about that, then we can get rid of stupid surgeries like this one, because this should never happen. This is not a thing that should
No.
happen. And we as Americans go out of our way to fight talking about FGM. And it feels like we're hypocrites.
That's
That
what
we
yeah.
run around and tell people what they should and shouldn't do in their own countries and then make this a surgery. Absolutely not. Outrageous.
It is
Yeah.
outrageous. Absolutely. And you're
Very.
absolutely right. For those guys that like to listen to Brown Sugar, listen to me when I tell you. It does not matter if she's had one partner or hundreds or thousands. The look of it will not change.
The grip of
Period.
it
It's not going to change.
I don't know, man. If she
won't
got some
change.
muscle control, she might go from it to it
She might grab on it, but it's not going to,
to
the lips are not
scar.
going, all those lovely petals, how many there are, how loose they are, how tight they are, how rippled they are. It's not going to change based on the number of men and or things that have penetrated her. It's not. That's what
Because
we're
if
going to say.
can we be honest though? Because if that was true, then it would be the same for the men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It would be the
Mm-hmm.
same.
That's right.
So you're not out here looking like a shriveled up S-bar hot dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Esbar hot dog. I got the visual in my head, like, oh my god.
the one that's been sitting on the grill too long,
Right,
and
like got like the whole not like the side knocked out and just
Oh my
splattering
god.
stuff.
yeah. So if it's the same for women, then it's the same for men. So before you start projecting, do that thing us Virgos like to say. Turn inwardly. Fix that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Bro, it's wild out here.
It
It is.
is. All
It's
right, so
wild.
we got one more hot topic. We're gonna wait, do we have time for one more hot topic?
We have one. We have one. We have time for one more. Just one.
Okay.
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 Let's get into
One
it.
more. So we're gonna get into it. This one, I don't even know what to say. Well, again, you had a drink before, you probably a little get something to eat. Okay, that's what I'm
Oh.
gonna tell you this time. Get something to eat. Get a bite. So this one, this is short and quick. My dog won't listen to me anymore after he saw me bottoming. I'd rather not go into specifics, but I had a guy over a couple of weeks ago for a hookup and forgot to close the door. So my Akita, I've had for 2 years,
Oh no.
wandered in while we were going at it. The guy was being pretty rough, and I was getting into it, moaning and being all happy, you know, bottom things, until the top pointed out of the dog was watching us. Oops, sorry, hold on. He was watching us. I got him out of the room and closed the door, but since then my dog doesn't seem to want to listen to me or respect me. or even spend much time with me. I try to pet or hug him, and he growls and moves away. That wasn't the case before. I know homophobic dog sounds ridiculous, but is this possible since he's seen me in this submissive position? He doesn't want to listen to me anymore? And that's the question. Now, this seems like a Doc Val kind of question.
Right.
So I'm going to hand
Right.
that over.
Is this called animal husbandry? I think I need my husband here, the guy that works in the pet industry, to answer this one.
I
Honey, I don't
I think this is I'm gonna go with the animal husbandry side of it, where when you have a dog or a pack animal as a pet, they live in there is a certain hierarchy to things. Like this is my guardian, my master, my parent. There's me, and then there's whoever comes after me. So now the order is all jacked up. You had somebody who don't even live here come in and do this to you? Who is you? I know that's what that dog is thinking. That dog is probably like, I don't respect you no more. You doing this in here, and I see you? You allowing him to do this, and I can't even rub my butt on the carpet? Oh yeah, that dog is heated. That dog is mad. That dog is probably jealous. That dog is just like, I can't respect you no more.
I
Yes, it
kind of
is,
feel you on that,
Nikita.
Miss T.
That
That's
is.
what I think. And the dog is just like, you are out of order, sir. Like, where do you now fall in the pack? You were the top, the head. Now
Dog's
you're
probably like,
not.
I ain't respecting this dude.
Yeah,
I
I
ain't
don't know
calling him
where
dad.
you are in the pack anymore. Are you now the bottom of the pack and you try to rule me? Oh, heck
Right.
no. No.
And it's an Akita, and Akitas are like,
Pack mentality is real with them. But I think this is what I would think you would need to do. You need to go ahead and get somebody and top them and put the dog in the room so the dog can see it.
yeah, dog's got to understand his place now.
And then you grab your bottom by the back of the neck and go like just
And
make
shake him.
sure you gotta take your power back in this situation, homie. I'm sorry.
You better find somebody that'll bottom for you, buddy, to get your dog back.
And
And just
bottom
keep this in
hard.
mind. We are no Caesar Milan sex version of pack animals, so we don't know what we're talking about. We're just giving you some ideas because we really don't know.
I'm done. I'm still looking at the dog and the S Bar Z hot dog.
That is interesting. If those that are listening to our show out there, can you tell us, like, if you're bottoming and you have an animal and they see it? Because I never really thought about that, to be totally honest. Is that something, now I've got all these questions. So we need our listeners to contact us at browsugarconfessions at gmail.com and like talk about your pets. Like if they see it, do you notice a behavior change in them? I wonder, has that even been studied? That's kind of
I feel like it
fascinating.
probably has. It probably has because it's also kind of like the same thing with kids. Like sometimes where your kid accidentally walks in the room while like the parents are doing in something, but like they might get traumatized for a hot second and run back out. But like animals are curious. Like I feel like a cat will like perch itself up and just like kind of stare and be like, "That's not how
Yeah.
you do that."
Wrong hole, buddy.
I know what you did last summer and last night.
I know that's not the same person that was here last week. He don't even smell right. Like cats are judgmental, man.
They judge you like, she is such a little slut.
Right. And you can even have a bird in there because birds will start mimicking sounds, and then next thing you know, you trying to have like breakfast with your mom, and your bird starts deciding to like make the noises that you make.
We are
Uh oh.
out of time, guys. You
Sad
know what?
face.
The one thing I will always say about Bounce Your Confession, we should have a 2 hour show because we're just getting into it. Now we're down the slippery slope of animals watching their pet parents. So we're totally in another conversation that we should maybe pick up next week. But you know what we say on Browse Your Confessions? Always to stay safe and play safe. Get your animals out of the room. And this is Doc Val, and we will see you next week. Bye bye for now, guys.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.